Hey, Lord of the Rings strategy battle game fans and any Lord of the Rings fans in general. Roman Daisel is back. Today we're going to be looking at my fairly large size Gondorian army, or Army of Gondor. These can also be considered Warriors of Minas Tirith, depending how you look at it. And you can see I got quite the army here. These are just the regular common soldiers. Now in the book you really don't see these guys until Gandalf and Pippin ride up to the Ramus Echor. They ride all the way through Anorian, and they reach the Ramus Echor, which is the enclosing wall over the Pelennor. And there they talk to Ingold, who's one of the guards there. And there are some Gondorian soldiers watching over that section of the wall. They're repairing the wall late at night, and it's the final part to be put in defense because it looks towards Rohan. And that's Pippin's first glance at men in Minas Tirith. So then when they ride on the city, he sees more of them. But then Peter Jackson, he did a really good job with the design, I thought, of the Gondorian soldiers. He also did well on the numbers. The army of Gondor is fairly big, actually. And it took Sauron multiple armies attacking at different directions in order to break Gondor's defenses. Had Sauron just sent one large army against Osgiliath, he wouldn't have succeeded, because then Gondor could have reinforced from the fiefdoms and coastlines. But Sauron had to have the Umbarians attack from the coast to draw away support from Minas Tirith, and he also had attack from Caer Andros, and he had to invade into Rohan to make sure the Rohirrim didn't come in. But Peter Jackson's movie, when you see the scenes of Osgiliath with Boromir, then you see the Battle of Osgiliath itself with Faramir leading the defense all the way back to Minas Tirith itself and the army. You know, it's a good-sized army, and rightly so. Although it's in decline, Gondor is still a fairly big country, or nation. And though it's declining birth rate, it is still a very populous nation. The only thing I didn't like about the Peter Jackson movies is they made the Gondorian soldiers too much like the red shirt security guys on Star Trek. Anytime a landing party goes and they have a red shirt security guy in a Star Trek landing party, that guy always dies in the original series. I don't think there's too many instances where they go on a landing party and a red guy doesn't die. Gondorian soldiers were kind of like that. Anyway, let's go on. So right now you can see I've got 7 companies. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the back. Companies of Gondorian soldiers in groups of 12. These came from a couple of box sets. So I got a box set of 24 Gondorian soldiers. I can't remember what I paid for it. I bought it right at the Games Workshop store. Then I have a box of 12 right from the Games Workshop store. I also have 24 from the Return of the King box set that I bought off eBay long ago. I bought a company of Gondorian soldiers from my buddy Sean. And then I got another company of Gondorian soldiers from another buddy, Andrew, who got his from Sean. So we're all buddies that way. Sean painted the 2 companies up, the ones in blue. And he started the ones in red, but I finished it off by painting them red. So these are all plastic. And they only come in 12 different poses. You get 4 archers, 4 swordsmen, and 4 spearmen. The spearmen, you can play with their pose because they have a detachable arm. One thing I hate about plastic is the spears always break, never fails. And one of the ones I got from the Return of the King didn't come with any arms, period. So he's kind of like the Black Knight in Monty Python's The Holy Grail after he gets his arm chopped off. Oh, it's but a flesh wound. What are you going to do, bleed all over me? So he's kind of like that guy, the Black Knight. Now, painting-wise, the first paint jobs I ever did sucked. I was just starting out. I didn't know about how to really take care of a paintbrush. So my first attempts at painting were not good. But then I got better. And obviously my buddy Sean is a pretty good painter. Can't go wrong with that. Now we do have them painted in different colors, and there's a reason why, to represent different regions of Gondor. So the ones in the black are just from Minas Tirith, and I believe there's 2 companies of those, possibly 3. I have to go through them all. There are 3 companies from Minas Tirith, because Minas Tirith being the capital city, it has a large number of Gondorian soldiers defending it, and the gray are directly from an Orion, so they are Anorians. The company in white are from Ithilien. So in the modern day War of the Ring, they could be descendants from people that used to live in Ithilien. Many of the soldiers of Minas Tirith would have come from Anorian too, so maybe make the gray as a Skilliath instead. And they are descendants of people who used to live in Skilliath. The ones in red represent the coastal province of Lebanon, which has its major seat of Pelargir, and is a very populous province. Most of its soldiers were in defense of Pelargir and or Pelargir, I never get that pronunciation right, and would not have sent many troops to Minas Tirith. The ones in blue represent the province of Lamadon, and I do have another set of 12 from the Battle of Skilliath box set, and I'm going to make those into green to represent troops from the province of Enphalis, far to the west. For a truly epic battle, I would love to have at least 15 companies of Gondorian troops. Next up, we get the commanders of Minas Tirith, or the Minas Tirith Command. I have 3 different sets of this, plus a loose piece. I can't remember where I got the loose piece from, but I painted up in the colors of, well, it's not the colors of Lamadon. I should have painted it red to make it from Lebanon. So he is a knight commander. And then I have 2 that I bought from Fan of the Sport back when he had a whole ton of the stuff. And I only paid like $8 for each set. Comes with a captain and a standard bearer. And I have 2. I made this one for the Ithilien troops, and one for the Minas Tirith troops, or the Anorian troops. For the captain, I painted his helm gold to denote his rank. And then from my buddy Andrew had these, but he got his from Sean, and Sean painted them really well. These ones, and they're in blue, so they're from Lamadon. This one's got a dead orc standing on a dead orc. Lost his sword though. And one of these guys is a hornblower. So it's pretty cool. So I have commanders ready to go in the army. I have my army of Minas Tirith set up with 5 companies up, 2 companies back, archers in the front. Obviously they're going to shoot as many arrows as they can before the enemy approaches. The 2 companies in the back are in support. Though in reality I'd probably put all archers up front and maybe have them in their own individual companies. It does mention in Unfinished Tales how the Númenóreans used to have great cohorts of archers firing off the Númenórean steel bows, and would blanket the sky in like a rain of arrows, and were mightily feared. So something like that would be definitely useful. So I put my soldiers up on the wall. Now there's one guy on YouTube, Zorpazorp, he made excellent City of Minas Tirith, the first level. Him and a bunch of other YouTube creators, a bunch of Lord of the Rings strategy battle game creators got together, and they built an amazing Minas Tirith set. There's also some guys near my hometown of the Ontario Hobbit Association. They made an excellent Minas Tirith set for playing on. I saw it at a tournament, but never got a chance to play on it, unfortunately. Wish I had. But you can see you can put 12 guys comfortably on the battlements. You can fit 4 on the tower. I only got 3 right now. And you can fit 7 on the gatehouse wall. But it is pretty neat. It is a good set piece. Because remember, when you're playing these games, you're not... Most of the time it's small tournaments with only maximum of 24 to 50 pieces, depending how many points you're using. So this set piece is perfect for that, for small scale battles. I want the gigantic stuff, of course, but I just don't have room for it. So, all you Lord of the Rings fans out there, let me know what you guys think of the Army of Minas Tirith, the Army of Gondor. I'm going to be going over all the other troops of the fiefdoms that I haven't included yet, as well as some heroes. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to get back to the Middle-earth role-playing eventually, too. But until then, this is Roman Daisel. I am out of here. Wait. So, all you Lord of the Rings fans, leave comments in the comment section. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And until next time, I'm Roman Daisel. I am out of here.